Hey everyone, my name is Toph, and about 1 month ago I started bouldering for the first time and I absolutely fell in love with it. And over the past month of climbing, I've decided to make goals, and my goal is that in 1 year I will get a V6. That is my goal. Is that goal going to be attainable? Who knows? Now, why exactly do I want to get a V6? There are two reasons why. A V6 to me is a pretty good level and it's just outside of being attainable a year from now, in my opinion. I might be completely humbled within the next year. But it is something to strive towards, but if I fail and I get relatively close, that's still a win to me. Because the second reason why I want to get a V6 is if you could do a V6 or V5, you can probably do some V4s comfortably, and my gym has a lot of V4s. It's probably the most common route in my gym, and I want to be able to do just basically more of the bouldering routes in my gym. Right now I feel obviously very limited being able to do only V2s and V3s, but I want to be able to do a lot of these V4s, and trying to get to V6 will get me to that level quicker. Now I do have a training plan and a goal-oriented mindset in going into bouldering, but I will say the number one thing for me is just making sure I'm having fun. I don't want to make this a job. I find this enjoyable and I don't want to ruin it because I'm just striving towards goals that ultimately kind of mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, I'm not going to be making money off of bouldering. I'm not going to be in the World Cup. So it's just gonna be something fun. So I shouldn't take it too seriously. I just need goals so that I can have something to strive towards. So right now I'm kind of figuring out my training plan. Everyone is kind of telling me in the beginning, just climb more and more. I somewhat agree, but the problem is, like last week before my wedding, I basically climbed every day for 6 to 7 days just because it was so addicting. And I feel that I need a structured plan where I have some strength and conditioning that takes a break from climbing so that I don't basically have my forearms explode. And so right now my climbing structure, I'm still kind of working around it as of now, and I am coming up with a more detailed plan. But basically it's 2 days of social climbing with a group of people / max climbing, trying to do max routes, 1 to 2 days of volume climbing where I do easier routes but focus more on technique and just getting comfortability being on the wall. And throughout all those days I'll have different days of strength and conditioning. Now when it comes to diet and weight, I think it's really important to consider your weight when it comes to climbing, because ultimately the heavier you are, the more you have to pull. So you generally want to be on the leaner side while also maintaining a lot of muscle mass. And right now I'm a little overweight, so right now I feel like I'm just saying stats like an NBA 2K player, but basically I'm 5'7", 5'8", and I weigh about 171. Ideally I can get down to 155. I was kind of already almost there, and then when I broke my foot 6 months ago, I kind of gained all the weight back. This is just a me thing. If I allow myself to eat a lot of meat or processed foods, I generally have a hard time losing weight. So I'm focusing more towards a plant-based diet, because when I eat a plant-based diet, I'm more likely to eat leaner, because it's a lot harder to go out and eat fast food or go out to eat at a restaurant if you're restricting yourself to plant-based diets. Now, when I become really obsessed with anything, I really like to read books about the topic, just because it keeps my mind on the subject without having to go to the climbing gym. It hits that fix. I would say right now my Bible is this book, Training for Climbing. I heard this book is very, very good, especially for beginners or intermediate climbers. The second book I have that I haven't started yet is Mastermind Mental Training for Climbers. This will go basically into the mindset and goal setting and the mind rather than the physical aspect of climbing. And then these are more supplemental books that really don't have anything to do with climbing, but more so just kind of supplemental information. So The Inner Game of Tennis, this is a very popular book, but a lot of this is basically just like mindset on peak performance, mentality, how you think of yourself, not talking down on yourself. So it's really it's a really good book for really any athlete. And then another supplemental book I am reading is Built from Broken. This is a kind of like a mini textbook from a physical therapist, basically on things we can do to prevent injury, exercises we can do to basically balance the body. In terms of these videos, I'm just making very casual vlogs, basically talking about my sessions, recording my sessions. I'm also posting Instagram reels at V1Baddie, the same link as this YouTube channel. This is basically my training vlog channel. I said that so awkwardly. Today was my first session back after my wedding break. Before my wedding, I probably tried to boulder like 6-7 days in a row, and I was really weak. I couldn't even do a lot of the V1s just because of pure grip strength. And then I obviously took a 4 to 5 day break, and this is my first like formal session. I came back like after my wedding for. And this session was the first time I got a V3, so awesome. But it was definitely a soft V3. But also I was able to cook a lot of the V2s I couldn't do before the wedding. Today's session really taught me that rest really does matter. It makes a big difference. And I really can't be going 5 times a week bouldering my hardest. And I'm gonna treat myself with a little bit of ramen, but I can't eat too crazy because I definitely ate like a maniac my wedding weekend. I'm so bloated right now. I look so bad. I think it's Wednesday morning. I think it's Wednesday morning, and right now I got some coffee. This is a Canuck Cola and some chia seed pudding. I'm gonna drop off my marriage license at the county right now, and then I'm gonna head to the gym and getting a training session in. I'm really trying to work on not climbing every day, because right before our wedding I was climbing pretty much every day for like 6 to 7 days in a row. As a beginner, that is just way too much, and my forearms were toast and fried, and by the 7th or 6th day I couldn't even do a V1 just because I kept falling after 3 holds. The yesterday's session felt really good. I went and did all the V1s and V2s I kind of struggled with, and I basically cooked them. I did my first V3, and I was able to do some of like that V4, and that was kind of like my second try doing it, and I was really happy that I even got up halfway to that V4. I really think that could be my V4, that like my first V4 that I would guess. And we had a pretty good session yesterday. We went for like 2 hours. I went with a buddy that has only climbed a couple times, so we were kind of doing a lot of the beginner stuff, but I was trying to get a lot of mileage in, a lot of volume, just to get used to being on the wall, and I'm getting a lot more comfortable. And I'm not feeling as sore today, but I know if I try to go and grab something or try to boulder, I'm gonna struggle. So since there's gonna be some time between now and training, since I have to go to the county, I figured I would snack a little bit on this chia seed pudding with chocolate and almonds. And then obviously I need to get caffeinated because I'm like dying right now. I need like 5 shots of espresso. So after I did all my pull-ups and rowing stuff, I did 2 sets of dips, 2 sets of shoulder press, 2 sets of the Cossack squat or whatever, like the single leg side to side squat, and then hangboarding. I did 3 sets of hangboarding, half crimp, 5 to 6 seconds each. I think a few days ago or even last week, I couldn't even hang body weight against the hangboard, but this time I was actually able to for multiple seconds, and I think part of it is just being scared. I think I'm really feeling like I'm getting a lot stronger even after just like a month, just because I've never climbed before and my grip strength is getting stronger. So anyway, it was a pretty decent workout. I didn't want to do too much and toast my back because planning on climbing with some friends tomorrow, and then even on Saturday we have a session. So I want to enjoy all that, and I'm looking forward to my rest day on Friday. On Friday I'm just going to be brain dead and do nothing. Anyway, I'm going to watch some more climbing videos, George Lopez, and eat this big veggie burrito from Chipotle, and probably feel ill and have to take a nap. And a bean just fell out. We got all this food. I'll be glutinous. I'm gonna do a quick recap on today's session while drinking my Kool-Aid Zomberry. I feel like today's session was a very good session. I got my first V4. It was a soft V4, but a first V4. This session was supposed to be kind of like a social climb, max climb session. I usually have my max climb, which is basically the session where I try to go for harder boulders, trying to max out the difficulty. I try to do it the social climbs where I'm with other people, because generally I try a lot harder or go for climbs when I'm surrounded by other people. And so that was the goal of today. I started off with a quick warm up, and then I tried to do this V4. It's this black V4 that required you to kind of mantle and kind of balance on these footholds that didn't feel too comfortable for me, as definitely someone that is starting off and learning to trust footholds. but I ended up getting it. It wasn't smooth, but I got it and I was really happy with it. And that kind of gave me the confidence for the rest of the session to start doing or trying things that I wouldn't have done before. So for example, I tried to do another V4, this green V4. I really did not think that I could get even close, but after looking back on the footage, you know, I did a nice little roll over onto my foot, did kind of like a single leg press while holding up on the right side, stretching onto the left side. And I was really kind of feeling this kind of pinchy grabby, I don't know the type of hold, but I felt like I couldn't carry all my weight with that hold, and so I decided to not waste my energy, but also I was kind of a little scared. And looking back on the footage, what I could have done is, you know, reached over with my right hand and then foot swapped, put my left foot on that tiny foothold, and then kind of committed to that foothold to finish it. So honestly, I probably could have gone that V4 as well. I felt like some of the V4s at my gym were a little bit more doable than some of the V3s, and that just could be my style of climbing, but I'm trying to get good at everything as much as I can. Other than that, I went around and basically did a bunch of V2s that were a little bit more difficult for me before, some new V2s that they put up, some new routes. And I was basically just trying to bring out V2s and then at the end trying to do V4s that I knew I couldn't do, but just wanted to keep trying. And every time I go back on V3s and V4s I've tried in the past and I couldn't do, I'm actually getting one step closer every time. And it's a nice reminder if I say that out loud and tell myself that I am progressing, and that can help avoid plateaus, both mental and physical, because I am acknowledging that I'm getting better in some capacity. And if I'm recording it and telling myself about it and saying, you know, what did I do good today? I went up to a V4, I ended up going further on this V3, I feel more comfortable doing this, doing that. That really helps with my self-esteem and my confidence with moving forward and wanting to keep getting better and trying harder. So I know I'll get a lot better over the next few months because it's only my first month and I'm doing pretty okay. Some things I could work on, I think could be, one, honestly, if I lost weight, it would make it so much easier for me. Two, properly warming up my shoulders, my hands, my legs and hips, and stretching them as well to prevent injury. And maybe just taking it easy. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this. Maybe watch some Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen for the first time. A little bit George Lopez like I always do. And moving on to the next week. Okay, goodbye.